is Buiha, and now I will continue our presentation with part number two, which is identity negotiation theory. And first of all, when we talk about identity negotiation, we want to refer to a transactional interaction process whereby an individual in an intercultural situation attempts to exert, defy, modify, challenge, or support their own and others' desired self-images. Moreover, identity negotiation is a mutual communication activity, and the essential concern of mindful identity negotiation is how we can enhance understanding, respect, and mutual support through mindful communication. And the identity negotiation theory assumes that human beings in all cultures desire both positive group-based and personal-based identities in any type of communication. The efforts of both communicators are needed to ensure competent identity negotiation, and the efforts of one individual can set competent communication in motion. And there are 10 core assumptions in the identity negotiation theory. The first is that the core dynamics of people's group membership identities and personal identities are formed via symbolic communication with others. The second core assumption is that individuals in all cultures and ethnic groups have the basic motivation needs for identity security, trust, inclusion, connection, stability in both group-based and person-based identity levels. The third assumption is that individuals tend to experience identity security in a culturally familiar environment and experience identity vulnerability in a cultural unfamiliar environment. The assumption number 4 is that individuals tend to experience identity trust when communicating with culturally similar others, and identity distrust when communicating with culturally dissimilar others. Identity familiarity leads to trust, and dissimilarity leads to distrust. And the fifth core assumption is that individuals tend to feel included when their desired membership identities are positively endorsed, and experience differentiation when their desired group membership identities are stigmatized. Stigmatized means disapproved. The core assumption number 6 is that individuals tend to desire interpersonal connection via meaningful, close relationships and experience identity autonomy when they experience relationship separations. Number 7 is that individuals perceive identity stability in predictable cultural situations and detect identity change or chaos in unpredictable cultural situations. The assumption number 8 is that cultural, personal, and situational variability dimensions influence the meaning, interpretations, and evaluations of these identity-related themes. And the two last assumptions are that the satisfactory identity negotiation outcomes include the feeling of being understood, respected, and supported, and I will talk about it later. And the assumption number 10, mindful intercultural communication emphasizes the importance of integrating the necessary intercultural knowledge, motivations, and skills to communicate satisfactorily, appropriately, and effectively. So these 10 assumptions are summarized in 5 themes. The first is identity security and vulnerability. The second is familiarity and unfamiliarity. The third is inclusion and differentiation. The fourth is connection and autonomy. And the last is stability and change.
Okay, wait a minute. Thank you very much. Just stay there, okay? And I have a question too. First of all, anybody would like to ask the group questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead with your questioning. If you don't have, I have a few questions to ask the group. Now, the basic meaning of identity negotiation is that you change, you assert, you challenge your other identity. Okay, you assert your identity, you define, you modify, you change, you support either your identity or other identity. Okay, that's it. Now, as you negotiate, you want to have okay identity security, and you don't want identity vulnerability. Can you go to the last slide?
Yep.
Okay, right. Now, my question. So, security and vulnerability. Now, there is a phenomenon that we call culture shock.
Yeah.
For example, when you go to a new place, like your first day at the university, what you see may confuse you. You don't know what to do. You become worried. You're confused. What is that?
It is related to theme number 2, familiarity and unfamiliarity.
Now, well, I know that you are moving into unfamiliar territory. Okay? But
Yeah.
what happens is that you feel confused by what you see on the ground. You cry. You want to go home. For example, I do not belong to this place. Okay, this is not me. I want to go home. I cry. I don't know what to do. So we call that culture shock, isn't it?
Yes.
So culture shock basically is what? Is it security or is it vulnerability of your identity?
It is vulnerability.
Right. In other words, you feel that your identity is vulnerable. Okay. So culture shock is not it's not just a psychological phenomenon, but this is about your identity, security, or your identity vulnerability, isn't it?
Yes.
So remember that. So we are looking at culture shock from a different perspective. The perspective is now identity. Now, if you go to a place, you feel confident because these are the people you know. Okay, I know these people. I feel confident. I feel comfortable. I can do what I want to do. So what do you call that?
It is identity security.
Exactly, you call that identity security. Okay, and that's the point. I want you to remember. So we are looking at culture shock from the perspective of identity, whether you have identity, security, or you experience vulnerability. Okay, that's the point I want you to remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tức là gì? Chúng ta hãy nhìn nhận cái hiện tượng mà chúng ta gọi là sốc văn hóa đấy từ góc độ identity, đúng không?
Vâng.
Mình đi đến một nơi mới, mình rất cảm thấy tự tin vì những người mình đã biết rồi, thì đấy là mình cảm thấy mình rất an toàn về cái thể diện identity của mình, đúng không?
Vâng.
Lại mình đi đến đâu mình cảm thấy sợ sệt, lo lắng, khóc muốn về nhà, thì chính nhiều người rơi gì cả không biết làm gì cả, tức là mình đã bị một cái lost identity, đúng không? Và hiện tượng đấy nó được gọi là vulnerability, đúng không? Okay, so that's the point I want to remember. Okay, now can you stop your share screen and I have something to share with you?
Yes.
on identity.